So we've gone from bewitching Baltazar. Baltazar has been on fire. Guedes, beautiful ball through to Baltazar. Baltazar! Whoa, what? The guy's on fire. He truly is bewitching. It's a bastard, Baltazar. Yes, hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here, it's episode 60 of Andorra, the Double Challenge, in which I take charge of the club, blah 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 blah. You bastard Baltazar, I sold Lee Russell for you. So that's it, Baltazar, here we are, middle January transfer window, he's gone. He's gone to Olympique Lyonnais, £21 million, they activated his bloody release clause. Nothing we could do about it, he's gone. Oh, and this kind of stuff just makes it even worse. It's causing problems amongst the fans. Well, it was this bloody release clause. And you can see he'd continued in that form. 22 goals in the league in 21 appearances. 2 goals in the cup as well in 1 appearance there. He was tearing it up. So, of course, teams were interested. I was just hoping we'd be able to keep him. We had that moment, where Bayern Munich and Olympique Lyonnais put their bids in, and he wanted to talk about it. And I tried to persuade him. The thing is, he said, fair enough, he wanted to go to somewhere where he had the chance to play in the Champions League, and he didn't see that happening in the near future with FC Andorra. And amongst the options, I just wanted to be the option to be there that, look, we're on the verge of getting promoted to La Liga. We're going to be back in the big time. Just stick with it. But that option wasn't there. In the end, I ended up making some promise about signing some players, thinking, by the end of the season we'll sign some players. But then it turns out he expected those players to be signed now, in the January transfer window. So, he was going to be unhappy anyway. And then, he was refusing to sign a new contract. Of course, I wanted to get him to sign a new contract at the start of the season, but his wage demands were too high. He had 2 or 3 years to run anyway. And then Olympique Lyonnais found out about the minimum fee release clause and they activated it. So that's it. Baltazar's gone. We got no depth in, in the striker position. Who else have we got? We've got Jan Koulibaly, who I signed last January. He's finally scored for the club. He scored 4 goals in 1 cup game. That was against a Spanish non-league team, so doesn't really count. I guess we can stick him up front for now. It's just he's got that low determination and ambitious personality. Got Fran Navarro, who's been around the club for a few years, always been a backup, but, can't hold on to him for more than a few games. And you'll see in the squad view here, lots of wanteds next to my players. It's been that kind of transfer window. I'm not even halfway through it yet. Jorge Gomez, he's been, a star. Look at that, he's now up to 3 stars current ability, well on the way to his 5-star potential. Mainly loan interest in him, so that's nothing to worry about. He's happy to stay with us. Villarreal want to buy Moussa Cissé. Bianconi, he can leave. His contract's running out anyway. Crush, he's got so much interest in him. Half the MLS is trying to sign him, it seems, and Lazio and Toulouse as well. Guedes also, he's wanted by clubs in France, Olympique Marseille and Reims. Real Betis want him as well. He's very keen about moving there. He also wants me to strengthen the squad to persuade him to stay. And this is Jose Francisco Perez, also wanted by Toulouse FC, also wanted by San Jose over in MLS. So, lots of people are trying to steal my players at the moment. So with that sale of Baltazar, we do now have some transfer budget back. The club put 14 million in. Our transfer budget was down to 0. I'll show you what we've tried to do in the market so far, if I can bring up the future transfers. We've got another Portuguese player coming in, Marco Carvalho, who's joining us from Lazio at the end of the season. So a right winger, I'm thinking, of course. We've got Ruiz on loan from Manchester United, but we've got no hope of being able to sign him. His value, his wages, way too high. So we've got this player at Lazio, as I said. He's been out on loan. Was it Torino? No. Regina this season, so he's been playing pretty well. He's got some experience playing in Serie A for Lazio as well, so hopefully he'll slot right in. Also able to play on the right wing or centrally in the attacking midfield role, we've got this guy Mohamed Kamara coming in, Ivory Coast player with French second nationality, so I'm not sure if he'll be first team ready so much when he comes in, but he'll certainly be a squad player. And up front, looking to add some more depth, I agreed this before the bids for Baltazar came in, Michael Burling joining us from Tottenham Hotspur on a free transfer once his contract's up. I mean, he's not the finished article yet, but they say he's good for the second division with the potential to be La Liga level in the future. So we'll welcome the young Englishman, see if he can be the next Lee Russell. If you're thinking of Lee Russell, have a check in on the old boy, see how he's doing over at West Ham. Doesn't look like he's doing too great, actually. He hasn't really established himself in the first team, only 2 starts, 2 substitute appearances. Would it be worth getting the scout out to have a look at him, see if he might be available at a knockdown price? Anyway, results. Let's have a look at the league results. So in the last episode, we had that easy stroll in the park against Vallecano. After that, we went on a bit of a tear. We got a nice long row of green dots going. We beat Mirandes 4-1. Ruiz and Baltazar with a hat-trick. You can see there 2 goals scored in the same minute as well. We then went away to Deportivo La Coruña. A bit of a tougher game, this one, but we did come out on top. Alex Robertson and Baltazar with a brace. Atletico Pamplona, who were 3rd at the time we played them, it was Baltazar again with a goal, and Alano getting an equaliser to grab us a point there. Then this is the cup game I mentioned, away to Multivera, who are rumoured to be owned by Matt Hardy, who's going to rename them Multiverse. Anyway, Jan Koulibaly got 4 goals in that game, including a hat-trick inside 4 minutes. First goal on 11 and the 3rd goal on 15. And then we carried that into the league, that kind of goal-scoring form, against Almeria, 5-1 victory. Jonathan, the right-back, opened the scoring. Perez scored a hat-trick. Absolutely fantastic to see that. And Guedes with a goal as well. Moving into January, we've had a 1-0 win against Oviedo. It's Perez again. You'll notice Baltazar's name stops coming up. It wasn't because I wasn't playing him. It's just because once the transfer window opened and the transfer rumours and bids started, he kind of went off the boil. We then had a bit of a disappointing defeat at home to Huesca before playing Deportivo La Coruña again, this time in the second round of the Spanish Cup, and we beat them 3-0. Baltazar finally remembered where the goal was, and Perez scored in stoppage time in that one as well. So I jumped in here because of the whole Baltazar thing. I'm going to play this next game against Las Palmas off camera. What I want to bring you in today's episode is the next round of the Cup, where we play Leganes from the division above from La Liga, struggling in La Liga this season, so there's a chance for a bit of an upset. We are actually favourites for that game, you'll see, and we'll see if we can progress to the 4th round, even without Baltazar. So just before I get to the games, though, yes, Koulibaly, Navarro, those are our 2 strikers in the team at the moment. Now, I do have other youngsters. This is what I often do, hoard youngsters and send them out on loan. So I've got 3 young strikers out on loan at the moment, and I'm looking at recalling one of them. So first up, we got Jerry Bretas, Brazilian. We signed him in the summer, sent him out on loan to Llagostera. So we can see I've got a scout tracking him, 2-star. I mean, he's 12 appearances, only 2 goals. I think they've probably been playing him out on the wing or a bit deeper, as you know, sometimes happens with his loan things. His form's not so great, but yeah, I don't know if he's going to be any better than Navarro or Koulibaly. We've also got Weverton, who I bought. I think this was one where I tied up a deal for him when he was very young, like just turning 18, high potential. So he's not quite getting there, and only 8 finishing for a striker. He is on loan in our division at Alcaron, but he's only played 2 games for them. Or perhaps this is the most promising one. Igor Masimovic, Serbian, 20 years old. He's out on loan in the second division B3 at Alicante. 18 goals in 14 games, so it's a division below, but he's been getting the goals, he's been getting the high ratings, he's been improving his game. He's got very good physical stats. Finishing is not the best, it's only an 11, but he can run with the ball as well, so he can play in the inside forwards and so on. I think if I've got the option, and hopefully I do, yes I have, I'm going to recall him and we'll put him in the first team squad. Okay, so we're back ready for our big cup game with Leganes. Couple of bits of news before we get there though. First of all, our first Baltazar-less game, 2-0 win over Las Palmas. It was Ruiz, who's back inside after a bit of time out injured, got a goal, and Elvis Balde got a goal as well. Macias unfortunately picked up a knock, so won't be available today. That means we maintain our 1-point lead over Zaragoza. We're clearly breaking away. It's going to come down to the two of us for the title, I think. And a little bit of transfer news. We spent some of the money we got from the Baltazar sale on João Duarte, bringing in yet another Portuguese player. Signed him from Espanyol. Youngster, his release clause in his contract was 3 million, so we swooped in and paid 3 million for him so he can play defensive midfield, which is an area we didn't really have a good option for, or central midfield, both equally well as a deep line playmaker, so he should fit our system nicely. Right, so this is how we're lining up today. We do have a bit of a mini injury crisis. As I said, Macias is out. Our backup goalkeeper has just recovered from a knock as well. So that means Banu's in goal, Crush and Gomez in the middle, Cisse and Jonathan in the full-back positions. Duarte makes his debut, partnering Guedes in the centre of the park. Robertson in the attacking midfield role, Perez and Ruiz on the wings, and Masimovic up front. He couldn't get a goal in his league debut. Let's see if he can do better here. Okay, Leganes going a little bit more cautious with the defensive midfielder. All right, pick up where you left off last time. I've got faith in you. Let's do this thing. And we're off. FC Andorra playing Leganes. A little bit of a yardstick. Are we up to scratch against La Liga opposition? No. Well, that was a pretty crappy start. We're going to jump straight in there with a demand more, because we haven't seen anything from the FC Andorra team yet. Is that a red card? Oh, an early sending off for Leganes. They've had a player sent off for Alan. He got booked on 15 minutes and sent off on 16 minutes. I love it when that kind of thing happens. But it's Leganes who've got the dangerous position here. The set piece out wide and the second goal. Oh, this doesn't bode well for next season. All right, so we're 2-0 down at half-time. Let's just have a look what the analysis reveals to us. I mean, I think we've had the better of the play. They've just had 2 set pieces and they've made the most of them. Nothing happening so far with Maximovic. The wingers are covering a lot of ground, but it was just perhaps Ruiz is not playing well today, so we've just got to get something more from them. So come on, boys, show me something else in that second half. Right, you see here they've gone for a narrow diamond now, so I'm going to tell my team to play quite wide, exploit the flanks, get those overlaps going as well, and we'll go for something a bit more direct and see if that can get us back in this. I'm going to have to take off Guedes because he's just having a nightmare today, so we'll put Eugenio on in his place, or have him play as a Mazzala instead. And I'm going to bring on Sieta for Ruiz as well. Sieta can play as an inverted winger. So it's almost like for like. Okay, there's a chance for something here. We've got a set piece. Jonathan plays out Eugenio, acres of space. Perez blasts one, but the keeper's equal to it. Best chance of the night so far. Right, we're bringing Koulibaly on as well, as Masimovic just hasn't done anything today. I'm going to have to go shopping for a striker in the last few days of the transfer window, I think. Push those lines up as we come into the final 8 minutes. We'll tell them to distribute it over the opposition defence. Let Koulibaly use his pace. We'll leave shoot on sight off for now. Okay, come on, let's get a goal here. If we get a goal here, we can really put the pressure on for the final few minutes. Perez has his shot blocked. He's the man that we've got to build this team around now. There was interest in Perez, actually. Like I said, from MLS, from Toulouse. He came to me and he said that he wanted to leave. And then I said, well, come on, you're one of the most influential players here. And then he said, oh, thanks for saying so, boss. And I'll stick around. Right, we've just got to go for it now. Final few minutes, so Eugenio and Robertson get pushed up, wing backs, all that good stuff. Let's see if we can pull off a miracle. And here we go, highlight straight away, which we normally don't see. Normally it's make all the changes, and then they just give you nothing. Perez! Yes, he's done it. Oh, squeaky bum time. Can we get the equaliser? Oh, it was nicely worked. That's what we've been lacking. Jonathan with the cross. Flick on from Eugenio. Perez, simple tap in. Oh, just... we could be about to witness something epic. Or we could just get a few seconds of nothing until the full-time screen. And it was the latter. Well, that was disappointing. We, in the end, dominated that game. Against 10 men, we should have done better. I think we were kind of lacking a prolific goal scorer up front. Bastard. Well, we reached the minimum expectation, I suppose, of the board, that we got to the third round. A little bit disappointing that, that yardstick that we were looking for, measuring ourselves against a weak La Liga team as well, and we were unable to come away with the victory. Shades of last season. So now we've got about a week of the transfer window left, so I will look at what's available for striking options. I mean, of course, we've got that guy coming in. I've forgotten his name already. The English guy coming in July, so we'll see what he's like. Now we've got a fairly straightforward run coming up. Malaga are down at the bottom. We've got a bunch of the B teams to play, and Vigo, who are out of form as well. Tarragona also down near the bottom of the table. Then perhaps this is going to be one of the big games of the season. Home to Zaragoza. There's a chance here, if we can beat them, that we can take a huge step towards the title. After that, not too many games to go, so we'll definitely come back for the Zaragoza game, and then we'll have a look which of these remaining games is an important one. If there's any time that it looks like the title's going to be decided, that's when we'll come back in. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button if you've enjoyed today's episode. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Life without Baltazar begins from here. See you soon.